ready for I do.
We know many of you are joining us today on the live event page. Today I'm going live on our main page versus the event page because, as you can see, we are not in the food center. Today is Tuesday, so even though we are live on our event page with the Food and Wellness Center live posts, we are actually here in the hospital as well today, doing wellness exams on cats. We have Tiger Dimitri on the table today. He's weighing in at 290 pounds. 390 pounds. I was thinking he was about 275 when we neutered him when he arrived. So he's put on a lot of adult weight here. So 390 pounds he weighed in at. So the caretakers had noticed that Dimitri had this mass in his inner ear. And, sometimes those can be just a little wound from rubbing the fence or his siblings catching him. But because it's more of a mass-like versus a wound, it could also be malignant. And we want to check that right away. We are going to be removing it, sending it out for samples, and we will learn more once the mass is sent out for a sample. It's not bothering him in any way, but as we know, any type of mass that's malignant can metastasize very quickly. It's also in a position where it's hard to get clean margins without going into other areas, the anatomy. And so Kelly is even helping out in the observation suite that, even though we're in the hospital here, we are fundraising for the Food and Wellness Center, because when cats like Dimitri are not on the table receiving an exam and a procedure, they are benefiting, as you can see, at 390 pounds from a proper diet, as well as enrichment, which comes out of the wellness center, and as well as supplements, vitamins. And so every gift over $100, you will get Kitu the cheetah's paw print and photo card. We also have at the $300 level, there's food chutes to buy, but every gift goes to the Food and Wellness Center drive. We have until Friday. But the biggest motivator is all donations are matched up to $45,000. So if you give $100, it becomes $200. And we were told that on Thursday, contractors are supposed to be on site to actually start spraying foam, the insulation, onto the backside of the future commercial kitchen. So progress is underway. We have Dr. Camper and Dr. Campbell on site today for Vet Day. And then, of course, we have our techs, Pages here, Joy, our CVT hospital managers here, and Elise as a clinic coordinator liaison to help with crating the cats. The caretakers are always down in the habitat of the cat we just removed from the room to set up the room for recovery. And that often means turning over, emptying the water bucket so they couldn't accidentally, if they're groggy, put their head in their water bucket. It means removing any tripping hazards like a bed box or toys or perches, so that as they wake up, they can't trip over anything. And many times they'll wake up in their crate, but a lot of times we wake them up in their rooms because that is a familiar place with familiar scent, and it can make a less stressful wake up, especially if we don't have an invasive procedure going on. So since it's a wellness exam on top of a mass removal, we use this time to get blood work, give vaccines if needed, get the weight, do a full exam on the joints. We'll look at the claws to make sure they're wearing them down properly and take the opportunity to trim them if needed. And the biggest thing today will be removal of this mass if you just joined us. It is, I would say, about an inch kind of round, but we can see that it actually has is further than what you see protruding. It goes kind of down into the ear canal. So we're going to have to remove that with the best case scenario of getting clear margins and sending it out in case it is benign. But those results will take about 7 to 10 days and will determine next steps for Dimitri, the tiger here. So things like this can be really hard to see, especially with a moving tiger. And so when we feed, and you see that they do Tong feeding, meaning they hand cats smaller pieces of meat on tongs through the fence, this is what gives them the capability of really getting a close look at their teeth, their eyes, their ears, even their glands, things like that, and being able to notice something like this really quickly. So as we get the Food and Wellness Center and food chutes built and things like that, we will continue to do the Tong feeding several days a week so that they can get those really close look at the animal and notice anything abnormal going on. So if you're joining us, we're doing a wellness exam on Tiger Dimitri. We just got blood. I always take credit for it and say we, but Joy just got blood. And setting the catheter. And because we are going to be doing a minor surgery of the mass removal, we're setting up the catheter. He's intubated and on isoflurane. And as you know, we've been doing live posts all day long for our Food and Wellness Center finale this week. Our goal was to raise over $150,000 for the prep room remodel. Everybody that gives over $100 gets the Kitu and Lavani paw print. So many people have stepped up as founding members to get their name on the wall, which is awesome. And our next live post today, we'll be talking with Joy and Teresa if the procedure completes to talk about the supplements we give, the amount of medications we give, how we give it, what most cats are on, because I will tell you, when you look at the medication board and treatment board, it's not only treating like parasites, but it's preventative on helping kidney support for geriatric cats, a lot of pain management, GI support, things like that. So supplements and medications are huge of what we do. That's part of their diet. To ensure that these cats are getting everything they need, especially as they age. So if you're just joining us, we are here with Tiger Dimitri, who weighed in at 390 pounds. If you remember Dimitri's story, he was rescued from Colorado, a cub petting and cub breeding facility that had almost 80 big cats on a mere 12 acres. And thankfully, a sanctuary came in, took over custody of all the animals, and placed all the cats in accredited facilities around the country. And Dimitri lives with his brother, Zeke and Griffin. Sorry, I'm watching a probe go in the rear end, so I got a little sidetracked. But lives with his brothers. So at first, we can always easily think that that little skin tag in his ear was from his brother, but we always want to investigate further to make sure that they're, if it is cancerous, that we have the best chance of removal and things like that. So we will be taking the mass off today with as much clean margins as possible, sending it out for testing, and then determining next steps from there. Just so you know, Dimitri's been acting fine. Diet is fine. He's wanting to eat, play, do all his normal things. So we're really thankful that the caretaking staff caught this early. And most likely they saw it during the feeding process when they feed those cats with the tongs through the fence. And so some people can say that just seems so tedious to do. It is not something that's done every day, but it's done to get a very close look at the residents we care for. Because big cats can take their big pieces of meat and walk off with it. food foraging and they're in their big habitat. So when we do Tong feeding through the fence, it gives us the opportunity to really slow the cat down, look closely in their ears, look, their eyes are clear, what their teeth look like, what side of the mouth they're chewing on, how they're sitting with a stance, if there's any arthritis in their front or back legs, things like that. And that's how this mass was discovered. So we won't have answers today on this, but we will keep people posted. It can take 7 to 10 days or longer to determine next steps, so we'll make sure we update everyone. And we won't watch the graphic part. I know some people like watching surgeries, other people do not. Today is really about the Food and Wellness Center. But again, you know, you can make it possible, because look at what you made possible this year and last year. You made the new hospital possible. You made all the equipment that's in here possible to be able to do on-site surgeries. You made our operating budget possible to be able to hire full-time staff and as well as the extended volunteer team. It's just amazing. And then you made it possible for Teresa and Kelly and others to watch procedures of the cats that they care for, as well as continuing to work, because they are always working. And so today we know not everybody can become a founding member or buy a $300 food chute, but $100 or more will get a front and back photo gift card of your 2 favorite cheetahs, as well as Kitu's paw print. So any gift $100 or more, that'll be in the mail within a week of your gift. It's our small way of saying thank you and helping incentivize everybody for stepping up. Judson and I and all the staff here also want to acknowledge that your gift is special now more than ever, because we know your groceries are higher, your gas prices are higher, inflation's higher, and we just want to say thank you. We know that when you give your gift now, it's harder for people to give, so it is that even more special. So always take care of yourselves first, but if you have any extra income and want to help the cats, we appreciate it so very much. So we can take you out through Rescue Bay and kind of show you that Dimitri came in his crate. Rescue Bay's done awesome. We have a kitty recovering over there as well from Vet Day. And then he was able to be carried in to the hospital. So this procedure, it's really, until you get into it, you don't know how long it'll take. Depends on how vascular the tumor is, how far it goes. Again, the location is a little problematic of how we can get full margins through to the location. Usually if it was on a place that we could get, you know, bigger margins, we would, but right now this could cause some facial and ear issues and a closure issue. So they're going to do the best they can and then wait for results and determine next steps. So, but we want to stay tuned later today. I'm going to be talking with Teresa and Joy about supplements and how important it is. And then share some kind of fun and exciting things with you about the new project. And so we'll sign off here. We'll keep everybody updated on Mr. Dimitri as we're able to get some paw prints while he's down. Obviously, we never keep a cat down any longer than necessary, but Elise has been able to multitask with grooming and paw prints while the vets are scrubbing in. So there's always multiple things going on at the sanctuary. Why the team isn't here doing vet work, Judson and everybody's doing the fundraiser along with you. We have Jesse and those guys working on the skid steer and getting enclosures done. You saw or will see that Bungalow 6 yard has been rebuilt and the cats have gotten access. So it is a multitasking type of facility because the to-do list is always long. So we're so thankful for those that are giving to the Food and Wellness Center. Contractors are helping us with that. So many of you have given off the wish list for that as well. So we're gonna step out while they go do sterile surgery, and we will keep you posted on how Dimitri does. But he should be recovering in his room by end of day, and then we'll know next steps once the biopsy results come back.